This is a video about custom product packages. Now, packages is not a Brightpearl feature, it's a scenario often encountered on e-commerce platforms, and this video shows you how Brightpearl will interact with a store that's got a custom package builder. What we're going to cover in this video is what custom packages are, how to set up your e-commerce store for inventory managed packages, what to do if you can't change your online package builder, and then how to handle packages with eBay and Amazon. The easiest way to understand what a package builder is by using one. Here we've got a snowboard merchant that's decided to sell this package of board, bindings and boots at $449 regardless of what the customer chooses. So I've chosen a board. The next thing we'll do is choose bindings, and you can see here that we're actually pulling from a standard set of SKUs which have their own inventory level. Finally we'll choose boots, and of course the relevant size, and add to the package. The package is now complete, which means we can add it to the cart. This particular system adds a single line to the cart that contains detail of what the package components are. Each of the items that make up this package are separate physical things with their own SKU that need to be fulfilled and shipped. This means that when the e-commerce store presents the order to Brightpearl on the e-commerce store API, each of the components need to be presented with their own SKU and their own quantity. What you want to achieve is a downloaded Brightpearl order that looks like this, with each of the components as a line item that can be fulfilled and shipped. In order to do this, you're most likely going to have to liaise with your Magento, Shopify or BigCommerce developer to make sure that the Brightpearl view of this order on the API is for the separate line items. I'll explain it another way too. So you've got your online package builder, which lets the customer choose 3 different products, each of which have got their own SKU. Your e-commerce store then creates a sales order, which needs to retain these individual SKUs, so that when Brightpearl downloads the order, those SKUs are found in Brightpearl as stock track products and are added as line items that you can fulfill. If your e-commerce store actually adds a SKU for the package itself, then that's fine. You can connect that to a non-stock tracked item in Brightpearl so that you can see how many you've sold. It doesn't matter whether the price of the package is assigned to this non-stock tracked item or to the components, as long as the order total is correct. If you can't edit the package builder on your e-commerce store to do that, then what you can do is you can actually link the e-commerce package itself to a non-stock tracked item in Brightpearl with the same SKU. Make sure the product name on your e-commerce platform then contains enough information as what we call custom attributes to then show in Brightpearl so that you can subsequently add the right items to the order. You'll need to do this manually each time you get an order for a package. So here, for example, we'll add the Aperture snowboard, we'll add the bindings, and we'll add the boots. Each of the components should be set at 0 price, but we need them here so that we can fulfill and ship them, and then the subsequent inventory level decrease will be updated back to your store. So whilst this approach works, you've got an increased risk of double selling inventory because you're not actually reducing the quantity until you've manually added them to the order and then allocated. Your sales reports will be inaccurate because you're assigning a 0 price to each of the lines, and then of course the extra manual work takes time and introduces mistakes. So it's definitely worth seeing if you can update your e-commerce store to integrate with Brightpearl to send the separate line items properly. Another example of a package builder is this Skateboard Builder on a different website. So let's add the final component, the wheels. Let's choose one of them, pick a size, and add to the complete board. We can now add the package to the cart, where each of the separate components are listed on their own line. This particular package builder has been configured to take a certain percentage off, in this case 10%, every single line item that makes up the package. It's still a package, however, because we can remove it all in one go. Just by looking at the checkout for this store, we're much more confident that this approach is going to create a Brightpearl order with each component as a separate line. So how does this work on Amazon? Whilst Amazon doesn't have the concept of a custom package builder, where you can choose which snowboard and which boots and which bindings you have, you can create pre-configured packages where you just need to choose the size of each of the components. So here we're looking at an Amazon product with variations, where I can choose 3 different sizes of board and my boot size. Each combination of these options is a separate Amazon variant, and what you do is when they download into Brightpearl as your Amazon listings, we'll see them all as separate lines. Then what you do is you make sure you link them to the relevant product in Brightpearl. Each of these Amazon variations is not actually a stock controlled item, it's a combination of other items. So what we're going to do is connect each Amazon variation to a Brightpearl bundle. And here we've got 6 different bundles that match each of the unique combinations of variants. If I drill into one of these bundles, you can see that this item actually contains the boots at size 12, the snowboard at size 151, and a set of bindings. When the order is downloaded from Amazon, it's actually the bundle SKU that matches the Amazon listing. Brightpearl will add the components of that bundle automatically so that you've got something to fulfill and ship and keep your inventory levels correct. Once you've shipped all the components, Brightpearl updates Amazon to say that the order is shipped. You can do a very similar thing with eBay, and what we're looking at here is a product with 3 variations. You either buy the snowboard by itself, or with bindings, or with boots and bindings. This merchant has chosen not to bring size in as an extra variation, which, whilst it makes the listing easier, means that they can't track inventory of each combination. What they're actually asking the customer to do is email them their size preferences once they've placed the order. In a similar way to the previous example, we've created these 3 variations as bundles within Brightpearl, and each of the bundles is connected to the eBay variation. When the bundle is added to the order, the relevant component lines are automatically added too. Both our eBay and Amazon integrations support something called bundle inventory, which means we actually send an inventory level up to eBay or Amazon that is automatically calculated based on the inventory quantities of the components. If most of your product range is packages like this, then you're going to have a lot of heavy lifting to do with data. Have a good look at these documentation pages on our website, and also see how you can create bundles by importing a file from Excel, and there's a separate video for that. It's also well worth having a look at the Understanding Bundles, Assemblies, Packages and Customization video, which gives you an excellent grounding in these complex product structures. That's enough for now. Hopefully this video has given you some idea of how you can solve some of the more complex aspects of a sales channel integration with Brightpearl.